Hey guys, this is your host Eric. Today we are going to watch action genre movie called Drunken Master 2. Spoilers ahead, turn on your subtitle, I greatly appreciate your support. Enjoy the video. Wang Fei-hung, his father, and their families are serving and waiting in customs. Fei-hung doesn't get it. Why should they have to pay for items they've already purchased? The English console is currently available. The father comes up with an answer. If you don't want to pay the fee, Fei-hung, you must become a consul. Fei-hung pushes one of the official's family servant. This trick is for the purpose of presenting your idea to an official. They wouldn't have to pay for the item. They board the train after clearing customs. They're attempting to rob my father, but due to his dexterity, the thief is left empty-handed. Fei-hung follows the criminal without hesitation, but the father immediately stops. Fei-hung up, having forgotten something. I forgot that being able to forgive is more important than fighting together. They set out on their journey from one of the stops. He and the servant recall forgetting something. The ginseng they planted on the official prior to boarding the train. However, because the man is traveling in first class, they are not permitted. Then they devise a clever plan. They're getting chickens and geese from the car next to them. They launch an assault, moving to the right. When Fei-hung goes to pick up his belongings, he encounters a stranger. The man required something in these things as well. Our hero begins to pursue him. Stop, thief, he yells, but the man does not appear to hear him. In battle, the stranger attacks him. He constantly refers to Fei as a traitor. This is due to the stranger being someone's master. He mistook the young man for someone else. Regardless of another fight, the stranger is able to flee. Our hero, on the other hand, pursues him. He could have attacked him from behind, but this clearly isn't in his nature. Fei-hung stows the sword. The fist fight starts. They fight on equal footing. The young man employs the drunk fist technique. This, however, does not help him win the battle. The stranger acknowledges that Fei-hung fought well, but his train has already left. Our hero pursues the train and rescues an unknown man. Removes a stolen car. Inside, it turns out that Jin is saying what's in Fei-hung's box. Then, he falls asleep as he returns to his seat. On the train, a baggage check begins. The queue reaches Fei-hung as a result of the theft. Like everyone else, he displays the contents of his boxes. But after opening the box where the ginseng should be for a second, Fei-hung, scared that this isn't what he was expecting. And now the cop is already there, and I keep asking him to open this door. A man sitting nearby steps in to help. He politely asks the officer to leave while displaying his identification. The officer apologizes and departs. This man turns out to be from counterintelligence. The cons are enraged. He has gathered all of his subordinates and reminds them of the significance of the lost item. Fei-hung's casket contains the emperor's jade seal, the most valuable item in Chinese history. If the Museum of London had this, it would be the best in the world. As a result, they must return it to the consul as soon as possible. Wang hospital and school. During their departure, Fei-hung's stepmother is having a good time playing mahjong. She has no idea that they are about to knock on her door. She and her friends are able to conceal all of the evidence while pretending to be ill. Lucky Mr. Chang requests the order from Fei-hung's father. Jin performed a song. The young man is terrified. What do I do now? The stepmother tries to assist him by bringing a large ready. However, the father notices something is amiss. Then, while his stepmother distracts his father, Fei-hung digs up the root of a houseplant and gives it to a stranger. They have good fortune on their side. This time, the consul people came to the foundry workers the day before he asked them to make people work. Time is available. And I have appointed a new plant manager to handle this. People are rising up in revolt. They are not going to work for nothing. A scuffle. The workers were beaten by the consul's men. They will have to work extra hours. Not far from the consul's embassy is a Wang school. The training of people interferes with the English consul's sleep. Wang refuses to sell his property. The Khan instructs his men to remove him from the market. A man named Song is flirting with a fun girl Song, who believes she needs a husband who can protect her and knows how to use kung fu. Fun, on the other hand, prefers the drunk fist style Song and despises this. Fei-hung appears on the market at this time, which Fun clearly enjoys. She requested that she demonstrate a few techniques to him. Song notices this. His eyes are filled with envy. He mocks the drunk fist style in front of everyone. Fei-hung is clearly above these words and does not want to fight, but Song is adamant about his own. He desires to fight Fei-hung, but our hero still refuses. There are many people on the market. You have the potential to cause harm to someone. The song then announces the duel to the entire market. Fei-hung must take on the challenge. The young man nearly wins, but he doesn't need it. And his stepmother is calling. The competition is over. If he passes by the consul's employees on his way home, they will recognize him. Fei-hung is being watched. He and his stepmother are returning home from a business meeting. The consul servant appears unexpectedly and steals a bag from the stepmother's friend. Our hero easily apprehends and captures a thief. The console's gang then reappears. Insults and punches were thrown. They provoke Fei Hung and her stepmother to a drunken fist fight. Fei Hung handles the attackers with exceptional skill. The stepmother hurls bottles at him one after the other. It's beneficial to him. Fei Hung gets drunk and fights back, but then her father appears. He is furious with his son. He was not allowed to use a drunken fist. Dr. Wang delivers them. The whole truth about the ginseng root was revealed. A man nearly died after drinking a decoction of this root. The father kicks his son out of the house and deprives him of his inheritance. Fei, hungover, enters the cafe and orders more wine. He is no longer able to stand on his own. That's where the men from the console come in. Song passes by, attempting to protect. Fei is hanged, but he is beaten by the entire gang. The console's men are apprehending Fei Hung. They humiliate him by hanging him in front of everyone. When the father notices this, he takes his son home in the morning. Fei Hung is crushed, as is his honor. His eyes are filled with tears. He apologizes to his father and swears that he will no longer drink. His father pardons him. A trained thief discovers Fei Hung's home. The stepmother confronts him, but the father intervenes. He soothes everyone and invites the stranger to introduce himself. Fuman is the name of the stranger, it turns out. He's a decorated military officer. His stepmother is not convinced. Fu claims he is defending the seal from the British. Otherwise, his children will be forced to study Chinese history in England. This is ridiculous. Suddenly, the cafe where they are conversing is deserted. It's a snare. A huge crowd of armed people storms into the cafe. Fu and Fei Hung fight side by side. People swarm in unending numbers. One of them even manages to stab Fu in the back with. They're attempting to get away from the console. Men kill Fu Manchu and steal the jade seal. Fei Hung swears he will exact revenge disguised as one of his soldiers. Fei Hung and her son break into the console's embassy, only to discover that it is a trap. They've been photographed now. The Khans is free to judge them however he sees fit. Fei Hung's father would be able to sell them the land for a low price as a result of this. The Wang lands have already been sold to the consulate for a low price a day later. Father Faa, on the other hand, does not. It will serve as a lesson to them. The most important thing is that his son is alive. The Khans give the order to fire everyone in the factory. People are desperate, but Fei Hung promised his father that he would not engage in any further business, so I guess I'll have to. People from the factory decide to investigate what is going on there. The British, it turns out, are stealing their historical relics. When the workers attempt to flee, they are apprehended by the consul. Then, a fight begins, and one survives. He should dial Fei's number. His father has just returned from a business trip. Fei Hung concurs. It is approved by the stepmother. She would have joined if she hadn't been pregnant. The factory is in the grip of a riot. The British are constantly attempting to shoot protesters, while rioters, on the other hand, break all weapons. Even their adversaries are treated with dignity and compassion. Many people will be jealous of you. Fei Hung decides not to intervene. He promised to give him his, but duty calls, and the territory within the plant is guarded by a man wielding a chain and delivering a couple of blows. He can take out anyone, but not our hero. He has no choice but to use his drunken fist. The adversary is extremely dangerous, but Fei Hung triumphs. One of the rioters nearly kills Fei Hung's attacker, but our hero saves his opponent. Fei is sneaking on. The consul's people, according to tradition, are waiting for him. Our hero is attempting to rouse them, to remind them that they are related. So why are they selling these items to the British? But his efforts are futile. These people are clearly only concerned with money, and nothing else is being beaten up. Fei Hung herself again by playing dish. This time, however, Fei Hung saves his enemies who had caught fire. The leader of the consul's men is a formidable foe. This fight is too difficult for Fei Hung drunk fist because he doesn't drink. And, as usual, the consul's gang is being dishonest. They even throw Fei into the blazing coals. Our hero is completely exhausted. His entire body is riddled with burns and wounds. Then comes Wine to the rescue. The fight continues, and the drunken fist technique is finally being revealed. All enemies have been defeated, and Fei Hung, the governor, has become extremely inebriated. Thank you, Mr. Wang. But he can't figure out where the hero is. We really appreciate you watching. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel with the notification bell because it is really important for us. Thank you.